Hello viewers, well welcome to another video looking at Forza 4, trying to get the footage here and there. We hope to have some to you soon, but first a big interview has taken place with Dan Greenawalt, and to be honest this interview just sells Forza 4 to me. It looks like to me that it's going to be the Forza game we've all been hoping for. To me, the real sequel to Forza 1 in many respects, almost making the other two look like sort of steps in technology rather than bringing the full package. This package is absolutely huge. So, Gamespot interviewed Dan and he took them through the game. Literally, he just went on for about 24 minutes just talking about every little detail. The new lighting models, you know, they've completely rewritten the lighting. Now when a car's on a track, it reacts to the lighting of the track, but also bounce lighting as well. Really sort of revolutionary sort of technology there, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, the detail level, to think that an Xbox is doing this, to think that a console that is getting on for 6 years old is able to do something like this is absolutely fantastic. And it shows the way development has moved on, not just in the console, but obviously with the BIOS updates, and now they're saying with the Connect updates and the influence that's had also on the technology being used as well. The next thing as well is, if you're a Forza 3 player, some of what you have will be moved across to Forza 4, not directly, but perhaps via your experience, but via how much you've used certain cars, whatever. Some of what you have will be moved across, so you will have benefits due to all the work that many of you have put in on Forza 4, and God knows a lot of people have put in a lot of effort. Paint jobs can be moved across as well, thankfully. That will save an awful lot of time. The cockpit view you see, they've moved the field of view back a little bit now, which is a lot better for a lot of people. I think a lot of people sort of struggled with the different fields of view. I still personally like two in-car views. I like to have an in-car view, which is where you see the dashboard, and an in-car view where you're actually just practically looking out of the car. I always think that's handy. Then of course he takes us on to a track day, looking at the this is obviously like one of those overtake challenges essentially. And it demonstrates the AI, it demonstrates the slow cars. You know, they won't all bash into you if you brake in a corner in front of them. They'll take avoiding action and stuff like that. So big steps forward on AI, and that's down to the Driviator, or whatever they called it in Forza. I never actually tended to use it very often. I did in Forza 1, did it for a while, and then it got a bit bored because I just wanted to do the driving myself really. But sometimes when you earn a bit of cash, you can just let it go, and it's always pretty handy. We looked a little bit at Connect as well, and the Connect features that are in the game. Obviously there's voice commands now, which is very handy, voice command direct linking. So for example, if you're in a screen and you think, oh, I want to go to another screen, perhaps, you know, I'm in painting a car and I want to go to arcade mode, you'd have to back out the paint screen and back out of that screen and back out of the next one and then back up to the main menu and then go into the next screen, select your car and so on from there. Now I can just say one word and it'll take me directly through the tree of commands to that point. That's quite handy. It's quite a useful way of navigating menus without, as I say, bringing in controls that you could otherwise do with a control pad much easier and with using less energy, frankly. So direct linking, voice commands, that's pretty handy. You can obviously you can drive with the Wii if you so desire, with the Connect if you so desire. There is a steering wheel, a new steering wheel, making me think of the Wii actually, that is a wireless steering wheel that you kind of hold out. I'll be showing you some more of that later. Head tracking and full body tracking for the Auto Vista mode. And the Auto Vista mode is of course this mode where you're seeing these gloriously detailed cars and you can walk around the cars and have a look at it and stuff like that. So the Connect integration is subtle, it doesn't detract any way from the gameplay. I'll be using a steering wheel and I'm sure it will handle great as well. I'm looking forward to seeing how it handles. I'm looking forward to seeing the steps forward there in physics, and to see, I always feel that a game should start at its core with a good physics simulation, a good driving feel. It doesn't necessarily need to be realistic, but it needs to work within the world it's developed. So I know what's going to happen with the car when I hit the brake and when the car's in a slide and all the rest of it. I need to know how it's going to come to me. So that's what I'm looking for with Forza 4 this year, to see how that feels. And the next big thing is car clubs are coming back. Now we've all had ups and downs in car clubs, God knows, Team VVV's been there, but this is way better now. I mean, besides the standard stuff of registering, you know, your team and, you know, the structure of your team and who's who, you can now share your cars. Wow, that will save so much time. How many times have I been on Forza and it's like, oh, what car do I need to do a hot lap on this track? Oh, I need that car. Yeah, buy this car and buy these parts and then you can get a tune. You sit there for 3 hours tuning. Now I can just go to somebody who knows how to do that car and track and say, give me the car. Yes, here you go with a perfect tune. Oh, and a paint job on it as well. Fantastic. You know, you can share your paint jobs in the team now rather than constant mucking about, having to buy it off and all the rest of it. That's going to really help bond the team, I think, because every part, when that person leaves the team, you don't have their car anymore. You don't have their tunes. Fantastic. They don't lose it. That is a real step forward. I just want to see responsible teams behaving responsibly, and we'll see how it goes, rather than coming to some sort of FPS war world. Great to hear that autocross is back as well. Again, one of my favourite modes from Forza Motorsport 1. Should be fantastic. Drift mode as well. Loads of drifters are going to love that. Rivals mode is also key in community. Essentially it's a new sort of matchmaking system, so that you're being match made with, you know, players of an equal level of skill or style of play. And that also brings together some, did I say, autolog style features, so you know you'll be able to know what your friends are doing, compete with them and all the rest of it. The game takes place, of course, over a world stage, something I missed earlier, but it takes over a world stage, so there's tracks all over the world, real tracks, imaginative tracks, obviously the hundreds of cars, and this is just the beginning. Dan goes on about lots of features that haven't been announced yet and shown yet, which they're going to be announcing in the next few months. So let's just think about that. Amazing online features and car clubs, great. 16-player racing, I mean, that's another thing as well. Some races will have 8 cars, some races have 12 and 16 depending on the race. Great, so if you have a tiny little circuit that you're racing around, you don't want 16 cars. But if you've got a big real racetrack and you're doing an endurance race, it's essential to have a bigger field of cars, otherwise you can find yourself having very lonely races. So all of that stuff sounds absolutely brilliant. You know, we've got loads of cars, amazing graphics, you know, lots of modes, online modes, everything else. All we need now is to sit down with a steering wheel, drive it and see how it feels, because at the end of the day that's what it comes down to. It comes down to how does it feel when it goes around a corner, and to me, if it feels good, and I'm sure it will feel good, then that'll be great. But let's just wait and see. I always find with Forza that there's something about it that doesn't feel quite right. I like it and it plays well, but there's something about consistency under braking and consistency on lap times, and something doesn't work for me. So I'm hoping that they get that right, that real sort of tactile feel with the road, and that's something I really want to see this time, and hopefully the wheel will develop that. Elsewhere, a new Microsoft wheel, I was mentioning earlier, has been shown. Very strange. It's like a Wii wheel, if you like. Looks a bit odd, but you know, I'm sure it's practical. At least it gives you something to hold rather than sticking your hands out to use Connect. Not much on it at the moment, not much information, but I'm sure it handles like all the other kind of wireless style wheels out there. So we'll keep our eyes peeled for that. And that's it for this report. I'll be showing you screenshots, videos, whatever I can get my hands on over the next few days, and hopefully at some point as well we will meet Dan ourselves, and you know, I'll talk to him about, you know, the regrowth of the beard since last year, as well as the development of the game and everything else. So that's it for now, viewers. More to come. See you soon.